Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals. The City of Peabody Zoning Board of Appeals meets tonight in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40A, and other applicable laws. Tonight's hearing will be conducted in the following manner. The Secretary will read the legal notice or state that such notice has been waived. All applications this evening will be heard in the order they were received in the City Clerk's office. The petitioner or petitioner's representative will present the subject application to the board. The chair may limit the length of all remarks. All parties in interest will be given an opportunity to speak either in favor or in opposition to a pending application, and the board may receive similar written communications to be placed on the public record. The petitioner will be given the opportunity to refute any such remarks. I'm going to stop here for a minute and explain to this lovely crowd how this works. So, the order of the agenda is going to follow the way it was presented. I know that last month we did not meet, so those petitions will also be heard first this evening in the correct order. When it's your turn, you come up to the podium, you state your name and address for the record. Then you tell us in your own words why you're here. You're here for dimensional relief. So as you tell us what you want to build, please do not tell us what you had for dinner, how long you've lived in the city of Peabody, the dog barks next door, blah, blah, blah. You're here for a dimensional, you're here because you want to build something, and we just want to know your reasons behind it. You're laughing, but you would be surprised at what people tell us. After you're done, the board will ask you some questions, and then we ask if there's anybody in the audience to speak in favor. If you are a neighbor and you want to speak in favor, come up to the podium, name and address for the record, and tell us why. Once again, we're not concerned about where they went to school and everything else. Just, it's not going to interfere with your life. They're good neighbors. We don't mind that they need a little variance. Then I say, is there anybody that wants to speak in opposition? I don't think this is going to happen this evening, but in the past, when the place is really full, we could have 15 people that want to speak in opposition. After the first 8, what more can you say? So if that were to happen this evening, and the prior 7 people have said exactly what you want to say, just state your name and address for the record and say, I oppose the variance from my neighbor for all the reasons that were previously stated. And then we take a vote. Obviously, and I say this all the time, but it's fact. If we approved everything that comes before us, then there is no reason for this board. And I also tell you, and this is the truth, look, I understand the mindset that you own your property and you want to build something, but there are rules and regulations in the zoning ordinances that we have to abide by. So you can't build something that's 1 foot from your neighbor's property line when you need 10 feet. Maybe you can if we approve it and the neighbor says it's fine. I mean, that's asking for a lot. If you go to other cities and towns, believe me when I tell you, nothing gets approved. Nothing gets approved. We are very, very, very fair. And when we deny something, I know people leave here and they're all mad and they're all upset, and I can't blame you, but that's the way it rolls. You're asking for too much. You want to build a deck, you want to build a little addition. You should know before you come here if you're asking for too much. You want to see if it works, that's fine. We also give you the opportunity to say, why don't you come back next month, see if you can scale it down a bit. So when I say we're a very fair board, we're a really very fair board, but not everything can get approved. All right, after all of that, if you have neighbors that have opposed you, you can come back up to the podium and you can address those issues. And I also say this every month. The best way for anybody to come up here and get anything done go to your neighbors first. Don't come here. I can't tell you what to do, but it wouldn't be to your benefit if you come here and you've got 3 neighbors, because your neighbors get notified from the city, and they know nothing about what you want to build, and you're too close to their property line. Well, of course they're going to be a little upset. Go to your neighbors first, tell them what you want to do, deal with it before you come here. All right. After all of this, the decision is typed and filed with the city clerk. Once the decision is filed, you have a 20-day appeal period that begins. You cannot do anything till after 20 days. In compliance with the open meeting law, this hearing is also being recorded stenographically by our clerk, Grace. When you are at the microphone, just turn, turn the little red light on so we can hear you. Speak clearly into the microphone. Speak only when you're at the podium. If you forget that you said that you want to say something, you haven't said it yet, raise your hand, come back up. Please do not shout from your seat, okay? It's not polite. It's distracting. It's not, you just please don't do it. You can come back up and speak. That being said, we have number 1 that has been withdrawn. Go ahead, Grace.
Can you guys hear me all right? Yes, that has been withdrawn because she has attached it to the house. So all we need is a motion to withdraw this variance.
Can I have a motion to withdraw the variance? Yes. I need a motion.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, number 1 is done. That is withdrawn. Now we need number 2, which is Robert DeRocco, 130 Russell Street.
Number 2 on tonight's agenda is the application of Robert DeRocco, Jr., 130 Russell Street, seeking relief to construct a proposed addition with relief to rear yard of 24 feet instead of 35 feet required, and right side yard of 15 feet where 20 feet is required for the premises located at 130 Russell Street, Lot 161. It's in an R1 zoning district.
My name is Robert DeRocco. I reside at 130 Russell Street. As they just said, I'm looking for relief. My daughter, we're trying to help her out. So we decided to put an addition on the back of the house. I'm looking for relief in the back for 11 feet and 5 feet on the right-hand side. The left-hand side is going to consist of a fowler, 3 rooms on the left-hand side, and on the far right-hand side there's going to be an addition for a bathroom walk-in closet. The middle of the house is going to be left as a breezeway, airway with an open front. So it'll be a full roof all the way across, 76 feet. The left-hand side will be 36 feet, the right-hand side the room will only be 17 feet. Reason, like I said, for it is to try to help her out. Houses are too expensive, so that's where I am.
Okay, now turn it off. There you go. So I went and I looked at this, and I know it seemed a little funny on the plan, but it makes sense when I went to see it. So there's Fala, and then there's like a patio area, and then the bathroom, whatever. Did you speak to your neighbor about this?
Yes, I spoke to the neighbor in the back. She had no problems with me doing. I submitted a letter with my plans. I also they have them with my
That's right. I saw the letter.
at the thing, and she said no problem. So.
Okay. Any other questions?
To the chair, I guess. Just my question to you, when you mentioned Fowler, now obviously the building commissioner has seen these plans, and you understand the rules that apply to a Fowler, and that your plan conforms to those rules.
Correct. I have less than 700 square feet on the left-hand side for the Fowler, and the right-hand side is just an addition.
Anybody else?
Is the house going to have 2 kitchens? It says kitchenette, kitchen.
She's going to have a sink, no stove, but a sink, cabinets for her side. She kind of wants her own apartment on there, so if I'm allowed to have a stove in or whatever, then I will,
Okay.
so she'll have her, yeah. Oh, okay. That's even better. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Anybody in the audience to speak in favor? Anybody to speak in opposition? The matter is before the board.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Okay. Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien? Mr. Osborne? Ms. Gallucci?
Yes, you're all set. Thank you very much. You've been approved. Thank you very much. Number 3, Albert and Michelle Moretto.
Number 3 on tonight's agenda is the application of Albert and Michelle Moretto, 144 Winona Street, seeking relief to construct a proposed 2-car garage with relief to right side yard of 4 feet rather than 10 feet required for the premise known as 144 Winona Street, Lot 87D. It's in an R1 zoning district.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and
Just press the button, honey.
okay, I'm Michelle Moretto, 144 Winona Street, and I'm looking to build a 2-car garage and dimensional relief for the side yard.
Have you been to your neighbors?
Yes, my 3 neighbors that directly abut on the big map, the Greers, the Freeneys, and Ruth Wick. They've sent in a note, the 3 of them.
Anybody in the audience to speak in favor? Yes. Okay. Name and address for the record when you come up.
Should I sit?
Hi, Donald Greer, 148 Winona Street, and I'm a direct abutter, and I am allowing the 4-foot variance. Okay?
Anybody else to speak in favor? Anybody else to speak in favor? Oh, you got somebody over there pointing. Anybody to speak in opposition? Any questions, concerns? Matters before the board.
Motion to close public hearing? Second. Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call vote.
And this one. Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien? Okay. Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. Osborne? Ms. Gallucci?
Yes, you're all set. You've been approved.
Thank you.
Number 4.
Number 4 on tonight's agenda is the application of Mark Mendoca, 70 North End Street, seeking relief to construct proposed addition, it's an office, and requires relief to left side yard of 7 feet rather than 15 feet, right side yard of 12 feet rather than 15 feet required, and it's the premise located, known as 70 North End Street. It is Lot 145 in an R1A zoning district. Hey, Mark.
Mark Mendonca, 70 North End Street. Just building an addition as an office, but I don't have the left and right side.
Did you go to your neighbors?
Yes.
Anybody in the audience to speak in favor? In opposition? Questions, comments, matters before the board?
Motion to close public hearing. Second. Motion to approve.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien? Yes. Mr. Osborne? Yes. Ms. Gallucci?
Yes, you've been.
All right, thank you.
Number 5, application with Attorney Kelty.
Number 5 on tonight's agenda is the application of John R. Kelty, Esquire, on behalf of the owner of record Josephine Cook. Petitioner is seeking lot size of 10,000 square feet where 15,000 square feet is required. Frontage of 100 feet where 125 is required. Left side setback of 10 feet where 15 feet is required for Lot B. Relief from lot size of 10,000 square feet instead of 15,000 square feet, and right yard setback of 5 feet where 15 feet is required for Lot A, for the premise located at 25-29 Glendale Avenue, Lot 027. It's in an R1A zoning district.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk and members of the Board of Appeals. My name is John Kelty. I'm an attorney. I have offices at 40 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass. This is a matter that has been before you in various iterations for a number of years. In 2003, you gave a in November 20th, 2003, this board allowed a variance which essentially cut off. My client is the owner of 10 2,500 square foot lots, each with 25 feet of frontage, all of which are shown on a registered land plan in the land court of Essex County. In 2003, we came before this board. We presented a plan in which we cut off 2 of those lots, creating a 5,000 square foot lot, which shows on this plan. That original 2003 variance. Can I be heard? That 2003 variance allowed us to cut from the whole of 10, cut 2 lots, 50 feet of frontage, 5,000 square feet, and we sold what was Josephine Cook, my client's mom's house. We sold that back in 2003, 2004. We subsequently came back with this plan, and you gave me a variance which allowed for these 2 10,000 square foot lots, each having 100 feet of frontage. They ought to have been the zoning, provided that they should be 15,000 square feet, and we were 10, and that was allowed. The earlier variance, your 2000 variance, said that there should be no further subdivision. And I recall actually at the Board of Appeals meeting at one time, there was a question that this question had never arisen to my knowledge about there being a no subdivision provision, but a question arose about the wetlands, and this board sent us to the Board of Appeals with the lots intact, 2 10,000 square foot lots, one of which was already built upon. It had the house that Josephine lives in today, and we cut that off and provided a 10,000 square foot lot in the middle. As we were coming back to this board for a variance to build a house on that empty lot, the Conservation Commission noted some changes they would like to see us make, and so we came back for a further variance because we were putting the building, garage, and everything associated with it more to one side. They were going to be drawn closer to the street, and closer to the left-hand side of the lot. At the time that that was granted, we were confronted at the Board of Appeals as to whether our earlier variance, this 2003 variance, which created this lot, as to whether or not that was valid given the prohibition. That question was never posed to this board, in my opinion. I know of no inquiry made by either anybody in the city, the building clerk, building inspector, or at the Conservation Commission. However, I had provided a memorandum dated October 28th, 2023, in which I developed theory and case law suggesting that the earlier prohibition was to be considered not binding, and that any future Board of Appeals could override that with a further variance. The question never came to this board, and while I'm waiting for the board to inquire of me or someone else to inquire of the board, we are in a situation of that variance lapsing. The exercise of that variance is what is at issue. I'm here tonight asking you to reissue that 2022 variance, which created Lot A and B. I've re-advertised this as a new variance, even though I've utilized the word reinstated in the advertisement and in my application. It has been completely re-advertised and is before this board as a new variance. Our memorandum, which went to the city solicitor, Assistant City Solicitor Elizabeth Lashway, produced a memorandum that said if you're giving a new variance, then you got to hold a new hearing. Not a question that I ever asked. I don't know where that question came from, but in any event, our variance of 2022 has lapsed. We're here this evening to reinstate, to ask that that variance be granted again, and we will return to our continued hearings at the Conservation Commission and ask that they approve our most recent plan with respect to the location of the structure. I don't have any new information. I don't have any, I ought to have recorded, we did record the variance. The creation of the lots does not require us to go to the planning board. We don't need to present anything to the planning board as an A&R plan, which usually happens when a subdivision occurs through the Board of Appeals, in as much as since these are a series of 2,500 square foot lots, we just adjust them by deed. So I could do that as soon as the as this variance is hopefully re-granted, and I'm happy to do that, and I'm happy to answer questions that you may have. I've brought copies of the other plans that accompanied subsequent third variance. Happy to answer questions you may have this evening. Our matter before the Conservation Commission has been continued from this past month, in as much as this board did not meet or did not convene. So we're now going to be before the Conservation Commission in December.
Comments, questions?
Question for Attorney Kelty. You referenced the approval we gave to this project a number of months back. If I recall, the application didn't, you mentioned about the 2003 approval of a subdivision with no further subdivision. If I recall properly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that application that was filed that I voted on didn't reference that at all. There's a question on the application that asked if this has ever been in front of a board prior, and I believe it said no. So just so everyone's clear, my vote on this project, and I did vote to approve it back then, was without the knowledge of that 2003 approval by the zoning board then of no future subdivision. In addition, if you could help me understand the 10 2,500 square foot lots, I don't understand where exactly that is and what you're looking at.
I don't think that I filed the land court plan with this application.
So the plot plan we have shows lots A and B.
Yes.
It doesn't show any 10 2,500 square foot lots.
Correct.
It shows A and B.
Yep.
The 2003 approval, motion to approve of the condition of no further subdivision of lot A and B. Alls I'm seeing is lot A and B. So if there's no future subdivision.
Yeah, but the earlier, the 2003 condition that there be no further subdivision is non-binding on any future board, nor is it controlling, and the board can do what it likes and ignore that decision. Ignore that condition if it chooses. And I am aware that I think in your packet there's a memo from Stuart Lazaris, who is the current chair of the Conservation Commission, and he has written a letter asking this board to deny the variance. I would suggest that Mr. Lazaris matters for at they have not acted yet, and I have applied a memorandum. I don't know where it went beyond, and I don't know if this board ever technically asked the question about this earlier variance. I do have a memorandum which I'm happy to share. I have 6 copies this evening. That memorandum is that it allows you to move forward without defeating earlier prohibition. And more than 2 years have passed without appeal to any of the that we were provided.
Yeah, I was here for both appeals, and I think the board was intact, besides Jamie as being, and I do hear the 2020 variance that was allowed, acted upon. I also, it was this board primarily as to these condition on that in 2023, so I'm a little confused as to whether we need to find funding or not. I don't know if I would.
Well, why don't we just vote?
Yeah, okay.
Anybody in the audience to speak in favor? In opposition? Hearing the matters before the board.
Motion to close the hearing.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Roll call vote?
Close. Motion to reopen public hearing.
My name is William Delp. I live at 30 Granite Road.
Right. Yep.
My name is William Delp. I live at Granite Road. I've lived here for the past 57 years. When I first moved in, we had some water issues that was corrected by the city. However, for the past 57 years, with no maintenance to the wetland, and the development going on around the wetland. I've seen the water table come up, up, and up, to the point that most of the year, there is water in some. No, I don't have anything against progress, but anything done around that wetland concerns me greatly. If they put a foundation, they're going to raise the water table. So I don't want to have to take my oil burner out and raise it up another 6 inches, raise my solid floor up to live there. That's my concern.
Thank you very much, sir.
I live in the state. The water that was refers to. This body of water, as you can see by the photos, this body of water that's within feet of where this house is proposed.
Motion to close public hearing.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Slattery?
No.
Mr. Gilbert?
No.
Mr. O'Brien?
No.
Mr. Osborne? Ms. Gallucci?
No, I'm sorry, not pass. Number 6.
Number 6 on tonight's agenda is the application of Root Realty LLC. Petitioner seeks relief from land section 5.3, yard of 0.9 feet instead of 50 feet required, and right side yard of 9 feet instead of 40 feet as required for the premise located at 218 Newberry Street, Lot 22. It is in a BR1 zoning district.
Who is here to present this? Mr. Kelty?
Thank you, members of the board. My name is John Kelty. I'm an attorney, 40 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass. Appearing before you on behalf of Route 1 Realty LLC. My clients are here this evening. We are seeking a variance which is 0.9 rear yard and a side yard where 40 is required. We have being proposed by the applicants, where much more, almost all of the repair, diagnosis, all of the activities taking place on the site, many of which have occurred outdoors, will now all be closed. We're proposing a larger building that will provide a new facade, new appearance to much of the building. We'll repair an aged roof, and we're happy to answer questions that you may have this evening.
So, what?
No, just thinking back.
So I'm familiar with this.
Yeah, hi, Jack. So it requires 50 feet, and you're asking for 9 feet?
I'm asking, that's on the side yard, I'm asking for inches.
And
on the
then the
rear.
other yard is 9 feet, and it's supposed to be 40 feet? Sounds like you're really cramming it in.
The rear yard is 50 feet, and I'm asking for .9. And the right side yard is 40 feet, and I'm asking for 9. The building is already actually intruding into all of, the lot is small enough, the building is big enough that it precedes the current zoning. And
But you're looking
therefore-
to add 40 feet to the side of the building, is that correct, the way I read
Yes.
this plan? It's kind of small. But, so you're looking to add 40 feet to the side of the building. So even though the front of the building will be in line, you're still trying to make the building 40 feet wider, correct?
No.
No? I don't know, I'm reading off your plan.
We're adding that,
Says-
if you look at your plan, the furthest to the right is the addition.
Correct, and it says 40 feet
Well,
in the
is the re-
front and 74 and a half feet to the back.
Yeah, but the building itself, the addition is not 40 feet.
Oh, that's the full length across the whole front?
That's the yes. I
I don't know,
can't
it's
see
your
without my
plan.
glasses.
It's hard to
Are
read.
those cheaters?
Yes, here.
Okay, Jack, let's look at it this way. So I'm looking at the building,
Yep.
and to the right of him is Bruce McQuarrie's Taekwondo thing, karate
Yep,
business.
yep.
And to the right of him is parking. It's just all parking, right? He's parking in the front of his building and parking to that
We're going to park in the front, we're going to park in the rear.
in the rear.
But it's going to be hard to turn into a
We're
parking
going
space
to
if
be
there's only
parked on
9
the
feet
left-hand
there.
side or the south side, and we're,
So how big is the addition?
Are you, name and address for the,
My name is Robert Tukumanian. I operate the business and the property owner, Route 1 Realty and Route 1 Auto Service. I can help clarify these questions for the addition and what's existing. So what we're looking to do is shoot the building out 40 feet to the left-hand side. We have a approximately 26,000 square foot lot, about 5,700 square foot existing building. We have too much lot space, not enough building space. That's what it comes down to. The right side, the 9-foot setback from the right side, we're not building up to that setback. That's what's existing. The only relief we really need for the new structure is only from the rear. All of our abutters, it's the commercial Bradford Flooring Plaza. To the right is Bruce McQuarrie's. His building is actually almost right up to the property line as well in the rear. So what we're trying to go is to the left and to the back. And we're not trying to cover the entire rear of the building, not shoot the entire rear section of the building out, just the left-hand side of it.
and in the rear, it's just nothing, and then big hills and Northeast Nursery.
Behind the building, behind the property line, it's just empty overflow parking for Bradford Flooring that's not used. Just everything is vacant.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anybody in the audience to speak in favor? Anybody to speak in opposition? Hearing none, the matter is before the board.
Motion to close public hearing.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert? Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Osborne? Ms. Galucci?
Yes, you're all set, you've been
Thank you.
approved.
What's your client's name, Jack? The last name? His last name? Oh, I can get it tomorrow. I'll get it tomorrow. Don't keep it here. Thank you very much. Okay.
Number 7, Avola.
Number 7 on tonight's agenda is the application of Janet and Anthony Avola, owners of record. Petitioners seek relief for Lot J to allow front yard of 8 feet where 25 feet is required for Lot T, front yard of 20 feet where 25 feet is required, and rear yard of 6 feet where 35 feet is required. The property is located at 59 and 59 Rear Pine Street. Let's see, a lot determination. It's in an R1, it's in an R1 zoning district.
Is this Mr. Attorney Kelty also?
Nope. I mean, I don't believe so. Is it? Yeah, is it?
presenting Avola?
Yes.
Okay.
John Kelty, 40 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass., appearing on behalf of Janet and Tony Vola. They are at 59 Pine Street. We are seeking a variance that would allow us to keep an existing, I'm trying to find my plan, keep an existing pool which has been added to this house some years ago, required no variance. We do have a second lot, which we recently were able to gain approval of a new structure from the Conservation Commission, which does show on this plan. We now have notched the rear lot in such a fashion that we're seeking the variance, which has been advertised and would allow the existing indoor pool to remain, as well as to allow us to build the structure on the rear lot. The neighbors have all been advised of this request. They were also advised, and several appeared at the Conservation Commission meeting, and we're seeking to have this variance granted, and then we would adjust the lot with an A&R plan at the planning board. The structure that's being proposed is actually for the Avola's daughter, who also was the reason for the pool. She has some physical disabilities, and only 27, 28 years old, wants to live on her own. And this is an opportunity that has presented itself, and we're seeking the variance to allow that to happen.
So, Jack, if I'm understanding this correctly, you're asking for a variance to build a little house on the property in back of the house.
I'm actually asking for a variance to be able to change the lot line so that it notches around that addition to the front house. And when the line formerly went straight across and would create an encroachment by the front addition onto the rear lot, we now have notched out the area where the addition would have encroached, and these variances allow the rear and side yard to that addition. There are no variances required, and an order of conditions has issued for the rear structure.
But, and I understand that, but this is a freestanding dwelling house for the daughter. It's not connected to their house.
That's correct.
So you're building a little house for the daughter in the back of the property.
On a separate lot, right.
And how are we going to get to this house?
The driveway is on the right-hand side over the front right of the Avola parents' house, and it takes you up to the, along the property line, takes you up to the house in the back. The house in the back is situated in a fashion that, although that's several acres, that lot, the left or the westerly side of the lot has a lot of wetlands, and the area we're building this house is upland from all the wetlands.
I know, because there's an awful lot of wetland there.
Yep.
The whole thing looks like wetland.
Through the chair. I see that you had a department, DEP hearing, and I can't see what conditions they put on this, but before I got here tonight, my understanding was you want to change the lot line to then put a structure on the back lot that would then infringe on the setback being the same abutter as the petitioner. So the setback would only affect the petitioner, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Is there any way to connect this to the house? Is there any way to connect, there's no way to connect this to the house at all?
Why?
Well,
I mean, the daughter has not asked that that occur, and the parents, no, the daughter wants to live independently and has the opportunity to do that with this house.
anybody else over here?
Through the chair, Attorney Kelty, what were the DEP order conditions? This is only numbered 1 of 13, and as Mr. Slattery stated, I'm not sure what they are.
Yeah, I'm looking for the actual order.
So not to,
Chris, you're referring to which?
We have a memo from Conservation Agent in Del Negro, and it references the order conditions. I just want to make sure I'm clear in understanding them. It appears that it just, following the review of the above referenced notice of intent based on the information provided in this application and presented at the public hearing, this commission finds that the area in which the work is proposed is significant to the following interests of the Wetlands Protection Act. Is that the only, what's the condition? Just that you follow that?
They did issue an order of conditions allowing us to do what we want to do, so that has issued. And there are no unique or special conditions on that order of conditions that would prevent this from occurring. And we filed the same plan with the
Concom agent Del Negro's memo. She asked the order should be recorded at the Register of Deeds before any work can commence. This commission has no further comments. Would this condition be recorded with the Registry of Deeds?
It will be, yes.
So I just want to go on the record to say this, and I certainly hope this never, ever happens. We read, it is stated that the Evola daughter has physical disabilities and is in a wheelchair. The reason I asked if it could be connected somehow, like redo it and connect it to the house, so God forbid something should happen and she falls and she hurts herself, how is she going to let her parents know? If it was attached to the house, in my mind, it would be safer. I'm not saying they should do it because I said it, but I want to go on record saying that, you know, I understand independence, I understand they have the land, build a little house. In my heart, I just feel that I don't know why they wouldn't attach it to the house for the sake of the safety of the daughter. Anybody in the audience to speak in favor? In opposition? Do we need to think about this?
I'm ready to vote.
Matters before the board.
Motion to close public hearing.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
No.
Mr. Osborne?
Yes.
Ms. Gallucci?
It fails.
That it won't pass because we have 2 noes.
You need 3.
There's only 5 people.
Right?
I just want to vote present. Can I vote present?
Well, we don't have a,
Then we don't have a vote.
yeah, we don't have a vote at all.
And so what, then it has to be continued? Or it just fails?
Fails.
It would fail.
We can take a recess.
Yeah, we need to take a recess. We're going to recess for a minute, 2 minutes. I don't want to be this conflicted. I don't want to be this conflicted.
No, no. It just...
Okay, we back on?
Yes, Ms. Galuggi.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passed 4-1.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jack.
Number 8 on tonight's agenda is the application of JDT Group LLC, owner of record, seeks relief from Section 7.2 and 10 landscaping. Petitioner seeks reinstatement of variance previously issued and now expired for front yard of 75 feet rather than 50 feet required, height of 50 feet rather than 40 feet required, and an FAR of 1.7 rather than 1.0 and 0 landscaping at front and side rather than 25 feet required, and right side yard of 34.2 feet rather than 40 feet required. For the premise located at 0 Newberry Street, Lot 007, it's in a BR1 zoning district.
Thank you, John Kelty, 40 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass., appearing on behalf of JDT Group. This is a variance that you did grant before, that you did in fact extend. It's a variance for landscape requirements from landscapes, a front yard of 35 rather than 40 feet, and a height variance. You gave me 50 rather than 40. The difficulty has been you granted it, you extended it, now it's expired again. My clients have been doing their due diligence in order to get this finance funded. That's all now been put in place. We have an order of conditions that is not expired. We can work under. We've applied for site plan review and now have applied for modified site plan review, which deals with our variances. If you give them to us again, they are more than adequate to serve the building that is under or being under construction shortly. We're asking that you grant the variance, which has been properly advertised and notice given to the abutters, and we're happy to answer questions that you may have this evening, if you have any. This is a storage facility which at one time was given a special permit to be a dispensary, marijuana dispensary. We came back and retrofitted the building, or redesigned the area, and now doing storage facility.
Through the chair, Attorney Kelty, help me understand exactly where this property is again.
It's behind Casina, behind Bertucci Casina, and the I think there's an auto dealer, not a dealership, but an auto repair facility. We're right behind them. Xena, yeah. Which is now a facility, a dispensary, however, not yet open. This is behind all that, yeah. The driveway is behind Casina and in front of, yeah, it's well behind those buildings.
Any other comments? Anybody in the audience to speak in favor? In opposition, the matter is before the board.
Second. Second.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien? Mr. Osborne? Ms. Galucci?
Yes, you've been approved.
Thank you very much.
Number 9.
Number 9 on tonight's agenda is the application of Tom and Melissa Gronkowski, care of Paulo Mendez, seeking relief to allow proposed deck with relief to right side yard of 14 feet instead of 15 feet required, rear yard of 23.4 feet instead of 35 feet required, lot coverage of 36% instead of 30% required. The premise is located at 7 Granite Road, Lot 21. It's in an R1A zoning district.
Hi, my name is Thomas Gronkowski. I live at 7 Granite Road. We're seeking the variance as what was stated. Mr. Mendez was supposed to be here tonight. He couldn't make it, so he asked me to come up and speak.
Who are you to the,
What?
he's the what? Oh, you're the owner.
The owner, yes.
Questions? Comments?
Again, we received a memo from the conservation agent, Lucia Del Negro. Have you been in contact with Concom at all? Conservation Commission on this project?
Yes, I talked to Lucia.
When did you talk to her?
In the summertime?
Well, this memo is dated October 9th, 2024. It suggests that you reach out to them. There's a request for determination of applicability. I think it would behoove you to get a hold of the Concom and have a discussion with them.
She cleared it with, I talked to her and she said that there was no problem. I couldn't get the permit until she okayed the permit.
Questions? Comments?
More so a comment for the chair. You know, I'm sitting here with a letter from Concom in front of me, and I'm not saying the applicant is not being truthful, but this is dated October 9th, 2024. It suggests that they reach out to her. I'm not going to be comfortable voting on this tonight.
I mean, they're here. We could condition that they get in touch with Concom
Or we could continue it.
and bring them back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, there's a process, and he didn't. They must have gone to Concom, or else he couldn't come here, right?
Grace, do
Okay,
you
when
know
did
when
you
the
talk to Conservation Commission? When did you talk to them? Did you talk to them in October? Or
Right
in the month of
after I had
November?
my plot plan,
No, but
she wanted to see the plot plan before she would approve and
And this was-
okayed.
And this was not in October?
That was in the summertime.
Okay, so we have a memo dated October 9th this year that says, "The property owner and contractor should give the Conservation Commission a call to determine if an RDA or minor permit approval are more appropriate. Staff will need to confirm if the patio will be removed and/or how many sonotubes will be needed." And we don't have any answers for that.
Through the chair, would you have an issue with contacting Concom again? Just to verify that?
City Hall and speaking to
Lucia.
Yeah, we talked to her.
No, I said, would you have an issue with talking to her again?
No, absolutely
Right,
not.
okay.
No.
Sorry.
However, what if there is a problem with all of this?
We condition our variance to approval from Concom.
But
I believe that's what her intent was. I believe that's her intent.
Just the way it's worded, they never took exception, they just said,
she did look it over, yes.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, she looked it over and she said she didn't have a problem with it. She had no problem with it.
Yeah, it's worded funny, I will agree with you, but I believe her intent was if it's passed, this would be a condition.
Yes. I mean, I couldn't go further,
You can't.
and she wouldn't allow me to get a permit without her approval.
Through the chair, again, for the board's knowledge, this proposed deck, although appears to be minor in magnitude of construction, we're talking about the same body of water that we discussed in the Glendale project minutes ago. So I'm really need to hear from Concom on however we decide tonight, and get their input one way or another. Just a question to the chair, to the applicant. Have you spoken to your neighbors?
Yes.
Who's in particular?
Our neighbors on both sides, plus we have another neighbor here who agrees that we could do it.
Thinking it should be done first.
Through the chair, I kind of have the same sentiment as Barry and just put a condition on it, because that language, I mean, legally, if you're determined to do something, the language is shall, and should is optional. But I think if we can put a condition on it, I think all Concom wants to know is how many silo tubes they're going to need to dig into the ground that might affect the wetlands, and they can give approval simply. I think, I agree with Barry, so.
Anybody in the audience to speak in favor?
My name is William Delp, 13 Granite Road. I live 2 houses away from what I see. I don't know what Conservation has to say about it, but by looking at their property, they're about 6 feet higher than I am. So by putting footings in down 4 feet, I can't see where it would affect the water table whatsoever. So I have no issues with that.
Anybody else? Matters before the board.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Move to approve conditioned approval from the Conservation Commission.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert? Yes. Mr. O'Brien? Yes. Mr. Osborne?
Yes.
Ms. Gallucci?
Yes, you get approved.
Yep. Approved with the condition.
Approved with the condition.
You got it.
Okay, great, thanks.
Thank you.
Number 10.
Can I have a copy of that letter? Just so that our-
Number 10 on tonight's agenda is the application of Gregory and Heather Laria at 16 Aberdeen Avenue in Peabody, Massachusetts. Petitioners seek a variance to construct a proposed 2-story deck and needs relief to
Send you a letter?
right side yard of 8 feet instead of 15 feet required, lot coverage of 32% where 30 is required, for the premise known as 16 Aberdeen Avenue, lot 043. It's in an R1A zoning district.
Hi. Good evening. Heather Laria, 16 Aberdeen Ave. And yeah, like you said, looking to construct decks on our 2-family home. I've spoken to the neighbors. I actually have a letter from the neighbor that is abutting on all three sides of my property in favor of it. I didn't. He just gave it to me yesterday, so I have copies of it. Okay. Sorry.
Excuse, through the chair, get Grace to turn her mic off.
So did you, through the chair, did you say you had 3 letters?
I have one letter.
Oh, one letter.
One letter, and the person that I have the letter from owns the 3 properties abutting mine. So the side that's in question, the 8 feet, is up against his driveway, which is an easement, to his house, which is behind us. And then to the, I guess if you're looking at my house, to the left of it, he also owns that home.
Okay, if, just for the board's information, if anyone would find that letter interesting, maybe a continuance would be warranted if that would factor into their decision-making, that's all.
Is this a one-family house or a two-family?
It's a 2-family.
It's a two-family house.
Yes.
Existing?
Yes, I have the paper here that says it's a legal 2-family.
Who gave it to you?
By the city.
When was that given to you?
It was done in 1978.
Okay, I'm going to allow us to just take a look at that.
Okay. That's the original. We bought it as a legal 2-family, so that's why I brought it, because I looked up the zoning and knew that it wasn't a 2-family zoning, so I thought maybe.
Anybody to speak in favor? In opposition? Are we all set? Matters before the board.
Motion to close public comment? Public hearing, sorry. I got good sleep, too. I don't know what's going on.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Roll call vote.
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert? Yes. Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Osborne? Yes. Ms. Gallucci?
Yes, you're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, you've been approved. Number 11.
Number 11 on tonight's agenda is the application of John Bishop and Caitlin Hurley for Marshall Circle. Petitioner seek variance to construct proposed addition and needs relief to left side yard of 9.5 feet instead of 20 feet required for the premise located at 4 Marshall Circle, Lot 125 in an R1 zoning district.
Hi, John Bishop, 4 Marshall Circle. So yeah, we want to try to do an addition on the left side of the house. My wife recently started working from home, and we don't have a dedicated office space, so this would be a dedicated office for her. I know, it's great. That's right, yeah, we need 2 incomes, especially to pay for an addition.
That's an interesting size-shaped lot, by the way.
Yeah, it's like a pie shape. So yeah, just that back left corner is that where it's going to be 9.5 feet. I think the front left is more like 16. It's not on the plot plan for some reason that I had drawn up, but yeah, the closest point is 9.5 feet when it's done.
Questions? Comments? Anybody in the audience to speak in favor? In opposition? Matters before the board.
Motion to close public hearing.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Osborne? Ms. Gallucci?
Yes, you're approved.
Okay. Thank you. So you're all set.
Number 12.
Number 12 on tonight's agenda is the application of Adamir Tosca, 26 Beaver Park, Danvers, Massachusetts. Petitioner seeks a variance to build a proposed addition and needs relief to rear yard of 7.4 feet rather than 35 feet required for the premise located at 24 Endicott Street, Lot 239. It's in an R2 zoning district.
Hi, good evening. My name is Andy Molly, and I'm the homeowner. and we're looking permission for variance to build an addition to an existing house. Just want to make the house a little bit bigger.
So, what are all these little houses here?
These are there's 3 single-family units existing in one lot.
Want to make an addition on one of them?
Yes, because it's very, very small. There's no bedrooms.
Okay, you want to make it bigger?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions or comments by the board?
I have a question. Yeah, that's my question, too. What kind of dwelling is it?
I'm sorry? Oh, there is no bedroom. It's just one living space.
And somebody lives there now?
No.
Well, somebody will be living there now.
Yes.
Did you just purchase the property? Because I
did.
know they cut all the brush back there.
Yes, I did.
So how many people are going to live there? How many houses are on this property that are livable?
3.
3?
There is 3 total. 2 are livable, and the one that I'm seeking permission.
Can I ask, the one that you're seeking permission for, does it have utilities, a kitchen, a bathroom, or anything? Or?
Yes.
I'm the architect, so I did the drawings, and it does have kitchen, full bathroom. But it's like we're looking to tear down the whole house and using the existing footprint of the house.
Gotcha.
And adding the new foundation to it.
Hmm. I feel like this warrants more discussion. This is...
Anybody in the audience to
peculiar.
speak in favor? In opposition? Okay, let's close the public hearing.
Motion to close public hearing.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Slattery?
No.
Mr. Gilbert? Mr. O'Brien?
No.
Mr. Osborne? No. Ms. Gallucci?
No, I'm sorry, it's not that.
Yeah.
You did not get the variance. Sorry.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, now we have,
We have a special?
2-minute recess. We're back. We are now going to listen to a wonderful presentation on the property at 40 to 42 Endicott Street by Attorney Smolak.
Members of the board, name is John Smolak, the firm of Smolak and Vaughn, attorney for the applicant, residents at Endicott. We were just going to put up a couple boards that are already in your materials just to provide the board with a better or an amplification of what we're looking at in terms of our elevations between the old and the new. The approved
I hate
project.
to interrupt you, but could you just tell the board that, you know, this was sold to whomever and blah, blah, blah?
Yes, yes. So the new owners are North Shore Community Development Coalition, which is a nonprofit developer based in Salem. And approximately a year ago, North Shore approached the then owner and acquired the interest in the property and the LLC. So it's the same applicant, residences at Endicott LLC, but North Shore Community Development Coalition owns 100% of the interest of the entity and the project, and that closed back in December of last year. And so since that time, North Shore has been working with the city and the departments and looking to reevaluate the project and to an attempt to downsize it. And as a result of the evaluation of the project, a number of changes have been proposed, and I'll briefly summarize those, including a reduction in the number of units from 62 to 46, changing of the bedroom mix from 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms to all 1-bedroom units. All the units would be for seniors age 62 years of age and older. So that means all residences have to be 62 years of age or older. 100% of the units would be affordable, as opposed to the 17 affordable units under the previously approved project. And as a result of the changes in the project and the reduction in the unit sizes, the building has been reduced from 6 stories to 5 stories. And due to the reduction in the units, the building is being reduced in size, and the lot coverage is being reduced from 60% to 30%. So by and large, it's a project which has been significantly downsized for a lot of reasons. The only other item I'll mention, a couple of items I'll mention, are the access has been adjusted such that the access is no longer directly onto Endicott. It's off of an existing right-of-way that leads to Berry Street to the rear of the property. And also, as a result of the downsizing of the project in terms of utilities, the water and sewer usage is reduced by 50%. The landscaping has been increased by approximately 20% because it's 20% more, a less impervious area. And also, in terms of traffic, the project is expected to generate, actually it's a reduction of 50 to 61% of peak traffic counts for this project as a result of the changes. And so, with that said, as a result of these changes, Mass Housing has required us or asked us to come back and just amend the waivers that were previously granted to reflect the project in terms of the new plans that were submitted to the board in your materials. And also, and as a result, we've also proposed some modifications of existing conditions for the project as well. Again, primarily designed to deal with the downsizing of the project, the reduction of the units, the change in plans, and the like. And also, since the decision expires in January of next year, we're requesting the board to grant an additional 3-year extension. What we're hoping to do within that time period, well within that time period, is bring these conceptual plans to construction level, also secure a new subsidy for the project, which we're very confident of securing, and also then going to closing on and the financing and the construction. So that'll take some time to get completed, but in a nutshell, that's the summary of what the substantive changes are in the project. And so we're requesting this evening for the board to determine that these changes are all insubstantial changes within the meaning of the Chapter 40B regulations.
Thank you. Great presentation. May I have Kurt Bellavance up here, please? So from a Chief of Community Development perspective, could you just give us your wisdom?
I'll try. Kurt Bellavance, for the record. The owners of the project came to us several months ago talking about changing the project. We liked what we heard. They're reducing the units. It's going to be senior housing. They're coming in from the rear of the property. They're adding more landscaping. And so for the cause of those and the reasons that's why they have to come here, let the board know that. They get a vote, and then that way they can go back to the state with their new plans. They'll do their financing through the state, as all 40Bs do, and then they'll proceed with that. In fact, we have within community development, we have the home program. We roughly get about $200,000 a year for housing, to create housing. In most cases, we turn that into the greater pool, so communities within that home program, there's about 32 communities in Essex County. They can all apply for that money. So if this project moves forward, we've basically earmarked 2 years' worth of money for them, so roughly $400,000 for them to help win the project. They'll apply at the end of this month to the state. The state gives money as well, because if we truly want to make this affordable, the state's going to kick in some funding as well. So all around, we're very happy with this. The mayor is familiar with this project. I've talked to the city solicitor about this project, so we're all on board and very supportive of this moving forward. Thank you.
Well, it's quite a nice project and a nice reduction. Questions, comments?
To the chair, if I could. Boy, what a difference a day makes. What a very, very pleased to see this presentation, believe me. And I'm sure there's a lot of changes, a lot of things that are going to be going on during the construction of this thing. But one thing that struck me right off the bat, and I don't know if it's possible, but maybe I should address this to Kurt, to you, is the city pursuing anything with the MBTA, since we're almost in compliance with, communities that the MBTA serves the housing compliance there, with ensuring that transportation routes are set up to include this project, seeing it's going to be mostly senior, all senior. Is there something that we could petition the MBTA to do, or is it something that's unheard of and forget about it,
We do have, we work with the MBTA often. We do have one bus that we've kind of struggled with that goes through Peabody. Typically goes through Peabody to the mall, to Salem. We don't find it to be extraordinary. It's not very helpful. But we do have an excellent council on aging with, I forget, it's either 14 or 21 vans that they have, which they will be probably a good partnership with getting them to, market basket, doctor's appointments, and things like that. So we expect that would be probably more useful.
So they could utilize that service?
Yes, definitely.
Beautiful, thank you.
Just a quick comment, again, to make sure folks understand, with the change in this project, we're now looking at 100% of these 46 units go on our inventory. It's no longer the 16, is that right, Kurt? From the previous project. That's a big one. Great presentation, great project. I grew up in this neighborhood. I know for 55, 58 years now that building's been disgusting, and I can't wait to see this break ground.
Yeah, it's going to be a great project. Attorney Spolak, can you just please tell us again what extension you wanted us to grant? Maybe we could get that done tonight?
We're going to get it all done.
Oh, we are?
We're
Oh,
going to get it all done.
all right, good. Yep.
Yeah, that's correct. That's one of the items. That's one of the items that we've requested, and also the last item that we've requested is the board's approval of the transfer of the project and the project eligibility letter, as noted in the request.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were doing that tonight. All right.
I actually have a draft motion.
Just happen to have one.
If you-
Thank you very much.
Just want to look at that?
That's what I was
You were so efficient, Kurt Bellavance. We need to close the public, this is a public hearing. So
Yeah.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion to approve with,
All right. Move to amend the comprehensive permit
motion to approve with, right? Because we have to approve it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to make the motion to approve.
Okay, go ahead.
We don't have anything to approve yet.
Go ahead.
Move to amend the comprehensive permit decision issued for the residents at Endicott to include A, approval of the transfer of the decision and project eligibility letter and to change to subsidy. B, to amend the comprehensive permit decision as described in the November 6, 2024 letter to the board from Smolak and Vaughn. And C, to approve the proposed changes as an insubstantial change within the meaning of 760 CMR 56.05, Section 11, and to have the board authorize the chair to sign an amended decision reflecting these changes. So moved.
Second.
Anything else? Sorry, we got to add.
Anything else?
I'm sorry if I missed it, but the extension of the term of the...
Oh, and to extend the waivers, I guess, are they the waivers of the...
It's the extension of the term of the comprehensive permit.
All right, and to extend the terms of the comprehensive permit an additional 3 years. So moved.
I will second that.
Roll call vote.
Wow, that's a great project.
Mr. Slattery?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Osborne?
Yes.
Ms. Gallucci?
Yes, you are all set. And it's,
You didn't think this board could smile this much, did you?
and it's 8:30.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I need a motion to accept the meeting minutes of September and October.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We are now adjourned.
Wait, meeting dates?